So you think they got a car?
Yes.
Really? How are they going to use a car to bring all those people?
No. They have a mini bus.
They have a minibus.
Yes, they use bus. Oh my God.
You imagine? Oh, the bus is home. They probably do have a car too, just to pick up some of the kids here and there, because you wouldn't want to take the bus everywhere you go.
Yeah.
You're already in the breakout room. I'm looking for you in the lobby. I'm talking to myself. All right. How's the alien today? No problems landing the spaceship?
I'm good.
You're good? The ship is good?
Yeah. Yeah.
How many light years did you travel today?
I don't know. Just.
All right. You got your test papers for all the topics?
Yeah.
All right. It's easy. This only interests 13. Piece of cake.
No.
Wait till you start doing the VSTEP.
No.
Easy. All right, Mr. Alien. Are you ready to start?
Maybe. Maybe. Yeah.
Of course, you can outdo your brother. Yeah, your brother's doing good too in that more than just English class. Have you seen any of those classes that he's doing?
No.
No, I haven't posted any yet either. So, all right, let's go to it. Oh. Okay, so in our part 1 social interaction, we're going to talk about talent. That's topic 1. So, what do you think? What is your greatest talent? What are you naturally good at?
Talents. I think is skating.
Skating. Yeah. Some people are really good at skating the first time they try it. They pick it up fast. I didn't. See, so that one you picked up pretty quick. You're a good little skater now, are you?
Just normal.
Okay. What other things are you good at? Computer programming?
No, I don't. I don't good at something like the computer.
No, not into computers. So that you're going to have to learn doesn't come naturally to you.
Yeah.
What about making your brother angry?
Is
that easy?
Yeah.
See, you got a talent. How to be a pain to your brother.
Yeah.
Oh, what about social skills? Make friends easily? Are you really sociable?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
gymnastics?
No,
no gymnastics.
Yeah.
Okay. What skills have you learned already or learning now?
I learned to play the guitar.
It's a good skill.
Yeah.
When you get a little older, the girls will like that. They're like a man who can play the guitar.
I just learned in 2 weeks.
You just started learning 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Learning for 2 weeks. Okay. What other skills have you learned? Did you learn how to swim yet?
Yeah.
Okay, so you learned that skill. What other skills are you learning now?
I think it's to play football.
Learning how to play football. You're learning one right this minute. What are you learning now?
Now?
Right now, this second.
What, this second?
Right now, this second. What are you learning?
You.
Yeah.
I learned with you.
You're learning English.
Yeah, learning English.
Yeah, I mean, you could have a natural talent for learning languages. Some people can pick them up really fast, but there are techniques to it. usually, I think in most cases, it's because they've got good work ethic and good techniques how to learn the language. But as far as I know, anybody without any brain problems can learn the skills. They can, if they want to learn it, they can learn the language. It's just about putting the time in it. It's like the guitar too. If you just keep practicing and learning new notes, and eventually you'll learn the skill. Absolutely. But yes, that's a skill to speak English fluently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Takes years, but it can happen. And it's happening very well with you. You see your brother already. He's at a very high level.
Yeah, he's and the interest, and now he's studying some IELTS on yours.
Yeah, well, we're not doing any IELTS anymore. Now what we're doing, IELTS is not really a subject you study. IELTS is like a placement test, right? It's designed to use proper techniques, of course, which is what you learn when you do the IELTS. But it's really about figuring out how much English you have and how efficient you are at using it, because it's an entry. It's like a placement test to apply to go to a university in an English-speaking country. So like we tried doing that, like one class a week IELTS, but it just drags and drags. And IELTS is something that you're going to have your test this September. Okay, then you take an intensive 4 hours a day, 5 days a week for a month before you do the test in the summer or something like that. And that way you get all the techniques down and get ready for the test. Use your linking words and different things that they'll teach you. So it was becoming really boring. I mean, there was some good topics in there, and there's good things to learn in there for sure. It covers a lot. But it wasn't as entertaining as or fun to learn like the interest classes. So what we did now with your brother's advanced class is we take famous books. Right now we're doing Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And then we're going to do a Stoicism, and we're going to do Walls, and we're going to do some Jordan Peterson books. And the vocabulary is very, very high. So that's what we do. We read that and we break it down, and then we discuss it so that we understand what we're reading. So it's a lot more fun.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on here.
Let's go.
We talked about skills and talents, how they're a little different, right? Skills, something you learn. Talent is something you naturally have that you can develop. How can talent and skills help you in your future? Or you in the future? How can you combine all that? How can you use that to your advantage? Talent and skills.
My talents, I think it just make me have something.
And how can it benefit you? You combined, like for example, you talked about you talked more about activities, talents.
Yeah.
So I guess you'd probably want to focus more on skills. So by learning, unless you plan on becoming a musician, those are just hobby skills. But like learning language and speaking English, or some other skills that you might think would be good to learn. Like maybe it would be good to learn how to do programming and coding or different things, depending on which field you want to go in, which I'm sure you don't know yet because you're still so young. But maybe answer it like how English can open up some doors for you in the future.
I think it can make me have some job, or I can go to other country.
Which skill?
English.
Okay. The skills of communicating in English. Okay. Yeah. There's no doubt that being proficient in English is going to open doors for you. There's a lot of companies out there that might take someone who is not as good in engineering or not as good in whatever the field might be, because they're so good at English and communication. And it definitely opens up a lot of doors for you, with English being the international language. If you're going to know a language, English is the one that you really want to know well.
Yeah,
very important. Yeah, because if you have Chinese or Japanese and there's nothing wrong with them, but it's not going to open. I mean, unless you are planning to only go work in that country or for a Japanese or Korean company, for example. I use that for an example because you have that in Vietnam quite a bit. Don't get me wrong. I'm not putting it down. But with English, it doesn't matter what country you go to. Every country always wants to be able to communicate in English as well as their local language. So that's a big benefit.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, let's go to topic 2. All right, so topic 2, natural disaster. What are some kinds of disasters? What are some of the natural disasters that you know about that happen around the world? What about the ones on land? What happens on land? Drought. That's right. No rain. Everything dries up. Can't grow anything. That's a problem. Earthquakes. Landslides. Yeah. After heavy rains or storms. Yeah.
Wildfire.
Yeah, wildfire. I don't know what that is. You mean like forest fires?
It's like we make fire in the jungle, and it's just
spreads.
Yeah, the fire is land.
Okay. Yeah, that what they call those are forest fires. But of course, it's the wind. The wind fuels it with all the oxygen and then pushes it from tree to tree and it jumps. They're called forest fires. Yeah, those are natural disasters as well. What about in the water? Well, actually, it's volcanoes. We didn't get that one. What about
in water?
Relating to water?
Volcano.
They're the opposite of water.
Tsunami.
Tsunamis, yeah. What country is famous for tsunamis?
Japan.
True.
Hurricane.
Hurricanes. Yeah, hurricanes come from the ocean. That's right. So the next question here is, I'm just going to jump to the next one because that's one of the ones you didn't answer yet. So I'm going to turn that into the question. What kind of disasters are common in your country here in Vietnam? Which one do you see the most of?
Yeah, I see the most wildfire.
You see a lot of forest fires in Vietnam?
Yeah, in Van Dong.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I've never seen one in Vietnam or heard of one in Vietnam.
It's much more.
More of them now.
Yeah.
Oh, Dudley said that too.
Yeah.
Okay. In translation from Vietnamese is wind fire. Okay. Forest fires. But there's another one. It keeps hitting the coast all the time. What do you guys call that? It's like a hurricane, but you have a different name for it. Hits Da Nang every winter, every summer, every fall-ish, I think. I forget what time of year it hits. Usually comes in across the Philippines. What is that? It's like a hurricane, but the hurricanes they usually call in the Atlantic Ocean or the north of the equator. I forget what it is. There's 3 of them. There's hurricanes, there's cyclones, and the one that hits Vietnam quite often and the Philippines. What do they call those ones?
Yeah. Now gale.
Gale, hail is the ice storm. No, it starts with a T. You remember? Thai. Typing Google.
Yeah,
typhoons.
I don't know. I don't remember, but
they call it typhoons. The hurricane that hits Vietnam every year, or more than one, they're called typhoons.
I don't know.
Well, that's when you have, usually it starts in the Pacific Ocean. It's like a hurricane, yeah? The clouds are spinning on the top, and the storm is building up power and it's moving in towards land. And then most times it crosses right over. But was it, no, you weren't in Gabby's class before. They got hit with a typhoon last December and their whole house was full of mud and water. Everything was destroyed. And then it goes across the Philippines and then it comes into Vietnam and it usually hits the central or central south area of Vietnam. And it's big winds and heavy rains and it causes trees to fall down and everything. And then it also sometimes it'll cause landslides that we talked about earlier because of all the rain, right? Because usually it's weak hills and you get too much rain and then the earth just gives out and then you have this big mud avalanche that comes flowing down into a village, which causes a lot of problems. But those are called typhoons. They're exactly the same as hurricanes. Typhoons. Now, as I said, there's three names. Typhoons, I don't have time to Google all the information, but from what I remember before, the hurricane, the typhoon, and the cyclone are all the same thing. It's all a big tornado on top of water. Tornadoes on land, you see it, and it comes and it destroys farms. But this one is on water, and then it hits the land and brings a big rainstorm. But I think hurricanes are more in the northern oceans, and I think typhoons is tropical, and then the cyclones are the ones further south. I think that's how they categorize them. But yeah, that's one you see a lot here. Do you get a lot of volcanoes erupting in Vietnam?
No.
No, I checked that out too. Yeah, no, you do have I think you have like 7 volcanoes in Vietnam, but they're all dormant, like they're all sleeping. They're not active.
Yeah.
It's not a seismic active country. And you don't have too many earthquakes here either, I don't think. It's pretty good. Living here is really good. Okay, let's move on here. Have you ever been in a disaster or at least something very bad? Probably not, but maybe.
Yeah. No, I haven't.
What have you been? What have you been in? What kind of a disaster have you been part of?
I don't think I have been in some disaster.
What's the worst storm you ever experienced?
Storm,
Yeah,
or
worst storm you ever saw.
hurricanes, or it just started from to the next 1 year ago, and it's go across from Da Nang to Thailand. Remember?
Oh, okay. So a typhoon.
Yeah, typhoon.
Yeah. Yeah, we got hit with a couple of big ones last year and the year before. Yeah. Lots of rain, lots of winds, trees getting knocked down. Have you seen any of those wind fires, those forest fires in Da Nang?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
No. I just see in Van Don.
In Van Don, yeah. Was I thinking about Van Don? I don't remember. No, you guys are really protected there too, because you have that whole Halong Bay with all the mountains out in the water. And that protects you a lot from tsunamis or anything like that. And it's not an earthquake area, so it's pretty rare that you're going to have that. Living in Vietnam is pretty safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to our reading comprehension. Let's review that lesson on that really, really big family. All right. So that was the lesson. I forget what number that lesson was, but yeah, about that enormous family. Really big. So I want to ask you some questions about it, about this big family and how they do things, and see how much you remember of that story and what you understand. So, page 2 here. Number 1. How many people are there in the Dexter family? Trick question to start with. Dudley had it wrong twice.
More than 30.
More than 30 people?
Nope. Nope.
Here's the question. Pay attention to the question. How many people are there in the Dexter family?
mm,
You really need to read the questions and do a little prep before the test starts. How many children? How many people? Not children. How many people?
20.
Yeah, 20. Right? 17 brothers and sisters. So who has 17 brothers and sisters?
Hannah and Dexter.
Right. So that means there's 18 children. And then, of course, mom and dad.
Oh my God.
It's 20 people in that one house, that family. Sheesh. Do you think Hannah's happy living in such a big family?
Yes.
What makes you think so?
She says she don't mind because she feel lucky when she live in such a big family. Like,
yeah, that's what she said. That's the clue, right? She says she feels really lucky to be in a big family like that. Not many people would have an opportunity to live in a big family like that. My grandmother that just passed away, 97 years old. Now, it's amazing. I think if she could have lived with family, maybe she would have made it to 100. She was quite healthy until she fell down and broke some bones and she got sick, unfortunately. God bless her soul. She had a family. Now I forget how many it was, but I think it was like 14. It's 10 or 14 children. Either way, even if we just say 10 brothers and sisters. She grew up in the country on a farm, and at least there was at least 10 brothers and sisters in that family that she had. That's a lot. But my grandparents' era, they all had very large families. You know, they were all like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 children. And then it wasn't until my parents' generation where it started getting smaller, 2, 3, 4. And then nowadays, my generation and younger, it's like 1, 1.5. Some have 2. Only a few families have 3 or 4. Yes, but everything's changed. People who live in the city, I think statistically, tend to have a lot less children than people who live in the countryside.
Yeah.
And so many people have moved to the cities now that they don't have big families as much as they used to. It was very different. Yeah. Would you like a family as big as hers?
No.
No, you don't want to have 17 Jacks running around?
No.
Jacks, Jacquelines?
I don't like have much people in family.
You don't want to have a big amount of family members?
Yeah.
It's funny. You know, I've asked other people about this. It seems like the kids are like, no, I don't want that many brothers and sisters. But then if you ask adults if they wish they had more brothers and sisters growing up, then they're like, yeah, they wish they had bigger families. It's probably more valuable as they get older when they appreciate it more. That's a lot, though. 18. I don't know. I think 5, 6, 7 is really cool. But 18, whew, need to make a lot of money. Just breakfast every day that's not even lunch or dinner. Oh, my God. 3. With that many children, where do they keep all their clothes?
The clothes are in the special room downstairs.
Why do you think they have a special room for all the clothes?
I think that from that family members yeah, is have more much clothes, so they have to make
A lot
rooms
of clothes.
a lot. Yeah, the only room to close.
What's the other? What other reason do you think it might be?
I think it's they are
It's
buying too
a
much.
lot of clothes.
They buy too much
They
clothes.
buy too much? No, I don't think so. It's because of space. Yeah, it would
Yeah,
be there's a 6-bedroom house, so they have at least 3 people. Well, no, it would be more than that because they said the 6-bedroom house, and then they say there's 18 kids. So even if you divided the 18 kids into 3, that would take all 6 bedrooms. But then there's mom and dad too, so that means mom and dad have a bedroom. So that means there's only 5 bedrooms for the 18 children. So that means there's some bedrooms that would have more than 3 people in a bedroom. So there wouldn't be any room to put all the cupboards in the bedrooms or the wardrobes. Yeah. And the other reason, can you imagine having 20 sets of dirty clothes every day? How much clothes?
More. I think it's more than 10 clothes.
Well, yeah, it would be, 20 people. And usually most people change their clothes every day. You know,
Yeah.
they don't wear the same clothes to school every day or to work every day. All right.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of laundry. So imagine if you had to do the laundry for all the people in the family, 20 sets of clothes a day, and then you had to go and bring it to each bedroom and put it in each cupboard to put it away every day. Or every couple of days. Oh my God. So they probably run it like a hotel. They probably have the one main room near the laundry room or part of the laundry room, and then they have all the shelves and everything in there, so that as the clothes being washed, maybe they have a color tag or something inside the collar, so they know whose clothes is who, and they can put them all in order and make it faster and more efficient, like a hotel does.
Yeah.
It would be like a business.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Have their own laundromat in the house. All right.
Mm.
Yeah, they have a special room for laundry. They would have to. It's just so many people. What do the Dexters eat every morning for breakfast?
The Dexter,
Oh,
every day for breakfast,
yeah.
the family needs nearly 4 liters of milk, 2.5 boxes of cereal, and almost 3 loaves of bread.
Whew, that's a lot of breakfast. And then you got
Yeah.
lunch. And then you got dinner.
Oh, so many money.
So much money, yeah. I wonder who does all the cooking. I guess, it must be a stay-at-home mom for sure, because it'd be so much work to do. That house would be chaos if they didn't. So he must make good money. But I'm sure the older kids probably help. She says she does a lot of work around the house, so they probably all help with the cooking. But that's like a restaurant kitchen.
Yeah.
There's a lot of food. Okay.
Ooh.
Let me let Jason. The Miss Lay stepped out for a minute, so I'm gonna let Jason in here real quick. So at least he knows we're still testing, because I don't think Lay is back yet. Okay. Just stay right here. I'm just gonna greet Jason and tell him to wait a few minutes. Just wait right here. How's Mr. Jason? 2 computers. What? What's going on here? There you are. All right, you just wait here for a few minutes, yeah? I'm going to finish the test with Alien, and I'll be back. And Miss Lay will be back soon, okay? Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a lot of food. Whew.
Yeah.
So you think they got a car?
Yes.
Really? How are they going to use a car to bring all those people?
No. They have a mini bus.
They have a minibus.
Yes, they use bus. Oh my God.
You imagine? Oh, the bus is home. They probably do have a car too. just to pick up some of the kids here and there, because you wouldn't want to take the bus everywhere you go.
Yeah.
And then they probably have something when they go do groceries. I don't imagine they take the bus with them. But yeah, they have a bus. So that's how the whole family can travel together. A mini bus. That's crazy. Whew. That's a lot of work. A lot of money.
I know.
What do you think? Does mom ever get a day off?
Yes.
She does, huh? When does she get a day off?
She got a day off on the Mother's Day.
She gets a day off on Mother's Day. So how do they make it special for her?
Hannah moms can rest and do nothing. Everyone will look after her and give her card and presents.
Lucky money?
Like that.
Like that, yeah. Probably not lucky money. That's not a Western tradition. Usually it's gifts, yeah. And do things. Because I think that's what she would want, is just a day where she could relax and not have to do all the cooking or the laundry or something like that.
Everyone will do it.
A day off. But she must love what she does. Otherwise, she wouldn't have had so many children.
Yeah.
That's one of the most important things in life, is to be able to make your career, your job, or your everyday activity something that you really enjoy doing. And then it doesn't feel like work. Because that's like, I've had many jobs in the past that was just horrible. I didn't want to go to the job, but I had to because I had to pay bills. And it was hell. Like, there's no other way to say it. It was just horrible. Because you don't even want to, you just feel like a slave. So I'm so lucky now that after all the bad jobs and a lot of the entrepreneurial business ideas and businesses and teaching, that finally now with school online, I really enjoy that as well. I get to meet people like you every day and all the other kids, and it's awesome. So I love what I do. And now along with that, I'm really enjoying building the YouTube channel and making videos and editing. So I'm learning those skills too. So I'm finally in a position where I can honestly say that I love what I do, and it makes my long days of work just feel like fun because I like doing it. Very important. Very important.
Yeah.
Well, because at some point in your life, you're going to have to. This is one of the biggest mistakes I made when I was a young man and a teenager. A lot of my friends believe that, you shouldn't specialize or get really good at one thing. You should know a lot about many things. That makes you more valuable. But that was one of the worst beliefs that I had when I was young, because what happens is that if you're good at a lot of things, it means you're not great at one thing.
Yeah.
And everything that you're good at, there are lots of people who are better than you, because they've chose that to make that their career, their job, or their passion. All right. So it's good to know a lot. Don't get me wrong. But at some point, you have to kind of dive into something that you could see yourself, make it part of your identity of who you are. I'm going to become a programmer. Or I'm going to be a lawyer. Or I'm going to be a tour guide. Or I'm going to be whatever it is that you actually choose to go into, and then you double down and triple down, and you become the best you can at that one thing, so that you could be up on the top in that field or in that career, right? Because that's where you're going to make the money. So at some point, you're going to have to sacrifice some of the things you want to do to put more time into the one thing you want to specialize in. Because it's what you specialize in that is, again, it's part of your identity. It's part of who you are. You become an expert in something, right? Nobody's an expert in many things. People are always an expert in one thing. They do many things, but they're an expert in one thing. And that's how you get to the top, because you have to put so much more focus and effort into that. Yeah. It's like if you want to be an English teacher, there's nothing wrong with taking some courses in French and Spanish and Japanese or whatever it is. But one of them you got to put the 90% of your time into, right? Because it's pretty hard to become an English teacher and a Chinese teacher and a Spanish teacher and a French teacher and a Japanese teacher all at the same time.
Yeah.
So sooner or later, you got to pick one thing. The sooner the better, because the sooner you do it, the head start you're going to have against the people you'll have to compete against in the future. That's why you hear your parents and your grandparents push you a lot, to decide what you want to be when you grow up, because they want you to start working on that goal now, because they know by watching all their friends grow up and themselves, they know that it's always the kids that figure out what they want to do first that usually succeed the best. It's just a fact of life.
Yeah.
But at your age, what you need to do is try as many different things as you possibly can to find out what things you find interesting what things you find interesting, and to find out the things you don't want to do. It's also as important. Okay, buddy. Any questions?
Oh, I got some lag.
What? No questions? All right. So interest 14 starts next.
No, this is that.
What?
Dang it. I got some lag.
You got some
Okay.
lag. Yeah. I saw that. Yeah, I saw that little lag. Okay, so interest 14 is next week, so you'll still be in that program next Thursday. Benicia said she's going to destroy you this time. But you've won quite a few.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, you're doing great. See you later, buddy.
Yeah. Okay. Bye-bye.
I gotta go because Jason's waiting. Bye.
Yeah.